Okay, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for clicking the little bell. Look, Amber Heard said some stupid shit today, but you know, she's Amber Heard, so we're not gonna worry about that. We'll do that in another video. She's always saying stupid shit, and you want me to tell you what? I'm actually kind of surprised about where we are on this. I genuinely did think that everything was gonna kind of die down with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. And it hasn't. It really hasn't. It's crazy. It's crazy, but she's an idiot. Who the fuck cares? So, you know what the deal is today. Phoenix Rising, the second episode. I have to tell you something. That one was even worse than the first. It was absolutely pointless. Pointless. Okay, they didn't bring out any other photos. They didn't bring out any other evidence. They didn't bring out shit. They talked about her dad a lot. They talked about her little family. Like, you see, this is what happens when you have people producing a message. Okay, they're producing the message because you get told things that don't mean anything. Like, why the fuck do we care about what her dad does? Why the fuck do we care? I mean, yeah, like, that's her kid, I guess. Nice kid, whatever. Like, we don't fucking care about any of that. We're not here to watch that. Because you know what they were doing this time, which was so obvious? They were just pulling at emotions. They were just trying to, oh, well, let's show family, and let's show her with her kid, and let's show her, with her dad and her brother. Like, nobody gives a fuck, dude. We're not here for that. I want to know what the fuck you're talking about. You see? And she's full of shit. And I'm going to tell you now even more, I'm leaning to Manson. So fuck that. Honestly, bro. This really is one giant abuse, hoax, scandal, conspiracy. That's what this is. It really is. So let's just start at the top. So they start off with her and she's like, oh, I just woke up to an email that someone that was in Manson's camp, he just outed him. And I'm like trying to process it because I think it's the first time someone from the camp has actually come forward and said something and told people that we weren't lying. Like, really? Okay, fine, then you're not lying. Fine, even though we still haven't seen a goddamn thing. But anyways, we're not going to go into that. So then it's apparently this Dan Cleary guy. And all I have to say about that is I've already gotten evidence from people. And they've messaged and they've commented and they sent me emails that Dan Cleary has already changed his statement. He's already changed his story. So total bullshit. And then they start talking about, Wood starts talking about something about being on stage during one of Manson's performances and something about the Red Sox and someone having a Red Sox cap. Who gives a fuck? And then she's showing all the tweets from this guy, Dan Cleary. And it says, I worked directly from Marilyn Manson and worked for directly Marilyn Manson from 07 to 08, touring. He was on tour with us. She was on tour with us the entire time. And then Evan starts crying. And she's like reading, and she's like, oh yes, oh thank God, oh thank God. Whatever, bro. So then she starts crying over the course, and he says, over the course of 1 year, he turned into a totally different person. He broke her. Shut the fuck up. So this girl, this Paula, let me see, where are they? I have them right. Let's see, because this girl fucking went off. Okay, and this is from something back then, and they were talking about Dan Cleary. So the person, let's see if it's this other one. Okay, so the person, they're talking about this Dan Cleary guy, and it's like a thread, right? And this other person, Sarah, for whatever. So because Dan Cleary forgot some dates, that means Marilyn Manson is innocent? I don't know, bro. What did we just see in the Amber fucking Heard trial, bro? What the fuck are you talking about, you stupid fuck? I don't know, dude. Well, you remember how Marilyn Manson, how Amber Heard used, well, I forgot to add. I remember. How many times did Amber Heard say, I remember, in her testimony? So yeah, because you want to know something about abuse, and I'm going to say this right now. I was going to interview my mom because she's been abused twice by two dudes, And I remember I asked her before this was a while back. It was during the trial. I'm not going to actually do it though, because, she's my mom. But she tells me, and I asked her, I was like, so do you remember exactly what, it was my dad and it was my sister's dad. I was like, do you remember exactly what they did? And she's like, yes, I remember what your father did. He did this and he hit me and he did this. And I was like, how long ago was that? Well, it was like in 1989. Dude, women that have been abused by men, they fucking remember, bro. They know. Like me, I've been in a fight. How the fuck would you forget a fight? Oh, no. Yeah, I got punched in the face. I forgot. Like, I still remember when my brother and I fought. I still remember that like it was yesterday, and that was 8 years ago. Like, dude, you don't forget that kind of shit. And you want to know what this all comes down to? Even worse than the Amber Heard thing, this all comes down to just believing. And that's what Evan Rachel Wood wanted. That's why there's barely any evidence. All they just have a bunch of people that they recruited. It looks like as if they were just counting on people being so overwhelmed by how many accusers there was going to be that we were just supposed to all go with it. We were just supposed to all go along with it. That's what it fucking feels like, bro. We haven't seen any evidence, and the only evidence we have seen is hardcore sex. So real quick, let's do this, because I can't actually show this video. But you know what? I don't even have it here. Do I have it here? No, I don't have it here. Whatever. Look, there's the video of I wanted to do it. I wanted to feature it today, and I wanted to do a video on it. But yesterday it got taken down on YouTube, and it was of Evan Rachel Wood and Marilyn Manson. They were like having hardcore sex, dude. And you can literally see Marilyn Manson punching her in the face, and she's putting her head back and she's bleeding. First of all, she's sticking her fingers in her mouth, bro. I'll see if I can post some, because I don't want to get this video taken down. I'm going to see what I can post here, but I'm going to have to be very careful about it. And you can literally see, dude, she's sticking her fingers in her mouth, licking her own blood. And then he hits her in the face, and she's like, oh. And then he hits her again, and she's like, oh. And then he hits her again one third time. Like, dude, this woman is a fucking sex freak. She's a fucking sex freak, hardcore sex freak. And that's why nobody believes her. That's why you're going to see later in the show, it says about, she says that when the FBI was listening to her, she was all happy because somebody was finally believing me. Oh, you mean because everybody else knows that you were just into some nasty ass hardcore sex, you sex freak? Huh? Exactly. These women are just nasty sex addict freak things, and they just want to be regretful about it, so they're going to say, oh, shut the fuck up, lady. You're full of shit. And I'm angry. I'm like starting to get just a tad bit angry when I think about this now, because these people really wanted to just pull the wool over our fucking eyes. And then it goes on to say, your willful bias is the reason depraved men will continue to abuse women. You've already decided Manson's innocent, and you have no fucking clue. And Cleary's statement rings true to me. Oh, okay. Sarah for justice, you fucking moron. So then Cleary's statement rings true to me. So then you're projecting. You said your willful bias, meaning you have bias, is the reason depraved men will continue to abuse women. You've already decided Manson's innocent. Hey, Sarah, for justice, you fucking moron. You've already decided that Manson is guilty. What the fuck are you talking about? And you're going to see, dude, later in the show, she literally starts projecting. She really does. And then look at this tweet from this Paula baby. Apparently this woman is one of the people that was there. Like, she's one of the assistants or something from Marilyn Manson or something like that. I need to go over exactly who she is, but she's a big deal, right? She's a very big deal. Paula baby, one. She says, I was there, you weren't. Boom, that's it. Mic drop. I don't even need to hear anything after that. That's it. That's it. You know neither party involved. Come back and revise your opinion when all cases and investigations are ultimately dropped. Truth is truth. Your opinion has no bearing on what I know. Exactly. Good. Get these people to shut the fuck up. So going back to the show, then they October 21st, 2020. Then they show this Dan Cleary guy. I guess they're going into someone's house because they were doing like that meeting, right? Everybody's all hugging. They're all talking about being alone. that they all felt alone, and you're not alone. And this girl, apparently there's someone named Sarah there, Ashley, then that Dan Cleary guy, and then somebody else, or Ashley W, I think. Ashley W is a former assistant to Marilyn Manson. And then Woods is saying about how Marilyn Manson would call her soulmate, your soulmate. And she's like, oh, he would throw around that word, wouldn't he? Soulmate, soulmate. Dude, like everything that she's describing just sounds like two people that are really, really fucking in love. That's it. That is all it is. So then once you go into like hearing this, and I'm glad that, you don't have to go watch it because it's so cringeworthy, dude. They're basically all sitting around. They're just talking about an ex. That's it. And then they start talking about, oh, I have this scarification, this scar, and it's an MM. And then the other one's, oh, I have that too. And the other one, oh, I have that too, and I want to get it removed. Bro, y'all are just a bunch of bitter ass exes sitting around talking about your rich ex-boyfriend, rock star ex-boyfriend. That's all y'all are doing, bro. That's all you're doing. That's all you're fucking doing. She says, I didn't think we would. Wood says, I didn't think we'd ever get to come together like this. Oh, dude, these people are fucking ridiculous, bro. And then they start talking about our relationship went public. Oh, and then they show apparently a People magazine or something like that. Our relationship, Wood says, our relationship went public early '07 when a weekly article about Evan Rachel Wood's love scandal, and in the article talked about the crazy love angle between me and Detta, I believe that's Manson's wife, and Brian. And then the article mentions something about him having a bad temper and that he throws things. Okay, see, and what is that? He has a bad temper and he throws things. Who else did that? So dude, I'm telling you, these people think anything is abuse. If you throw something when you're angry, you're abusive. Oh, you're violent. Oh, bro. I think that both of these dudes, well, Manson the thing with Manson's case is it's straight up just hardcore sex. That's all it is. Hardcore sex. That's all it is. Like Johnny Depp's thing, you could tell that Johnny Depp's thing was something to where Amber Heard was lying and making everything up, right? Like I guess they were really in love. I still don't believe that. I think she had a plan the whole time. But Manson's thing, bro, Manson's entire case, and when I read the complaint, they never really talked about it. They need to just say, look, all these women had hardcore sex with my client, and now they're upset about it. What? What are they going to say? Because there are some pictures, remember that Bianco woman, she's got whips on her back and shit? Like, dude, that's hardcore sex. You're a fucking sex freak, and you wanted to do it with Marilyn Manson. Why you gotta lie for? Why you gotta lie for? And then she says, a few months later, the press were ripping me apart because of the heart-shaped glasses video. Everyone was horrified by what they saw and was mortified. And that's why I felt like I went from an A-list actress to trashy. People started calling me a whore and a home wrecker. This is when I was 19 and he was 37. Who the fuck cares? You're 19. You're not a fucking child, dude. You're not a child. You're 19. Okay? So who the fuck cares? And then she says, I started getting calls from my agents, my friends, my parents, and they were getting their news from Perez Hilton. And then the phone stopped ringing. Okay, see, here's the difficult part for this. Here's the difficult part. Because you remember how we established that Amber Heard was a horrible actress. Well, this woman's not a horrible actress. She's a great one. She's a great actress. And she kept on getting movie roles. So we're not really talking about something like defamation for her. I think this is just all about regret. It's just all regret. Oh, I regret being with Marilyn Manson. I regret that I had hardcore sex. And now I have PTSD because of the hardcore sex. Dude, shut up. And then she goes on, I'm thinking that my boyfriend is going to come to my defense, and he's not. He didn't care about my reputation. And then listen to this bullshit. And if anything, I think it delighted him to see my reputation getting destroyed because that means I was going to be more dependent on him. Oh, yes. Who talks like that? Who fucking talks like that? Feminist, bro. Feminist. Toxic ass feminist, bro. Dude, because I was going to be more dependent on him. Oh my god. And then she goes on, this is when he started isolating me from my friends and family and when the monitoring started. Now listen to this, she's projecting right here. Manson had hacked into my emails. He was watching me and he had people watching me again under the guise of this is for your own good. She hacked into his emails. She stole his identity. So then this Dan Cleary guy comes on and he says, when I was his assistant, anyone who hopped on his Wi-Fi, he had your information and like was able to like, I think like clone phones or laptops or something. I don't know. And I was looking at him, dude. I was looking at the fucking TV and I was hearing this man talk and I just wanted to slap the shit out of him. That's all I wanted to fucking do. That's all I wanted to fucking do. I just wanted to slap. He was like, well, I think he clones phones or laptops or something. Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah, because you don't know fucking shit, you fucking fuck, piece of shit. And then Wood goes on, I've seen him hack into people's laptops, gather information on them as blackmail. He's hacked into, my computer and my social media. Who did that? She did that. Ilma Gore did that. They're projecting. They're projecting right now. He was monitoring and then she says, he was monitoring my every move. I couldn't reach out to anybody to say I needed help because, if he caught me doing that, then it would be 2 days and it would be out for 2 days and I would be up for 2 days getting yelled at and pleading my case. Really? Really? Now, let me tell you what that sounds like. That just kind of sounds like she's getting punished for what she's done. What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with anything, excuse me? Hardcore sex. That's a hardcore thing. And you're going to hear later when she breaks up with him and then she gets back with him, then he like puts her through like a little punishment thing. And she even goes on into like in accident. She says that she was the one that came back. Okay. She said it. She had to have said that on accident because that's what happens when you do this kind of thing and you're lying. You don't actually know what you're saying because you're lying. You see? So, I needed help, 2 days getting yelled at and pleading my case, trying to talk him off the ledge, like he just knew how to like break you down. Then they show a video of 2008 where Evan asked him, oh my God, this is hilarious. This is actually pretty funny, dude. You want to know why? Because this is his kind of humor. I know what he was doing. It was actually pretty funny. They show a video from 2008 where Evan is asking him, who's texting you? And then you see him come into the frame and he says, texting me? Texting me? And she's not answering him. He's like, did you say someone is texting me or you? And she's not answering him. And he says, you answer me for fuck's sake or I'll kill you. Like, it's funny. Like, he's not saying it like he's going to fucking kill you. Like, that's his shtick, man. Like, that's his humor. That's his kind of humor. Like, there was even another part where he had an axe and then he's cutting a cake and he says, oh, this axe isn't good for cutting cake. It's good for cutting women. Like, I mean, that's not funny, but at the same time, when you see who's saying it, Marilyn Manson is saying it. Okay. Do we have any evidence of him cutting someone with a fucking axe? I think not. Highly doubt that because he'd already be in prison for something like that. See? And then she starts talking, they start talking about someone named Twiggy Ramirez. I don't know who that is. His original bandmate, talking about when he got in the band, Manson changed overnight. It was almost like he wanted to go back when he first formed the band, and it was all about total debauchery, torturing girls, doing massive amount of drugs, and pain rituals. And that's when I went to go do The Wrestler. You want me to tell you what that is? That's kind of just like when a dude has his best friend come back around him. That's all it is, lady. It kind of just sounds like you're jealous that he was happy he had his best friend back. You jealous asshole. That's all it sounds like, bro. Like, and then she starts to say that he would like go crazy and they would go crazy together. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, so you didn't like it that his best friend was back around. You didn't like it, did you? Because that means he didn't have any attention for you. You see, and it's little things like that. It's little things like that that'll show you who these fucking people are. So then they show clips of The Wrestler. And she says, "So I left to go do the wrestler for 2 weeks." She starts talking about how they went she went to go wake up Marilyn Manson, and she's like, "Baby, baby, baby, wake up." And she said, "His eyes were dark, dark. That was when I suddenly knew that the new Marilyn Manson was here." What? What the fuck are you talking about? I guess. And she goes on, "He started to torment me for fun in front of everyone. It felt like he was just trying to prove something to Twiggy, that he wasn't this lovesick person." Oh, so you admit it. You admit it. So then he gave you all this attention before this Twiggy guy came back. And after the Twiggy guy came back, you lost your attention from him. Oh, see, this is why you have to hear these people when they talk. Because they out themselves. She's literally admitting that she's jealous of his little best friend. Because what happened? Every dude knows that. Like when you have a girlfriend and then you're all happy with her and your homeboy comes back from like, I don't know, basic training or some shit. You know, he gets back and you want to fucking party balls. You want to go off. Like you want to have a good time because it's your old best friend. And what happens with your girlfriend? She gets all jealous. She gets all sad. See? So, he wasn't a lovesick person, that I was just another girl he could control and torture. So I was really hurt and confused. Oh, I'm so hurt and confused. And then literally that's her motive, dude. Like when you see her say that, you can tell that that's her motive for targeting him, because she felt betrayed. She felt like he left me for his best friend, and like now he doesn't really show me any attention. So I was confused and I was hurt. And you know what? I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna get him back for that. Okay, like, dude, you sound like a little girl, bro. You sound like a little immature girl. And then this Dan Cleary guy starts talking about things that he would say to women when they were in private. About, "I'm going to kill you, chop you up, and Dan's going to bury you in the desert." Dude, it's Marilyn Manson. How else would you expect him to talk? I don't understand that. That's his thing. That's these people's thing. This is their game. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why is this so... I was going to say, why is this so shocking to these people? But I think it's like, it just goes back to the scam. It's all one big scam. They're just using everything that he did normally because that's how he was, okay? And they're using it and they're trying to make some money, probably. Make some money or stay in the media, stay in the news, something. And then this Sarah woman says, "I remember this one time it actually got physical. Like he threw me up against the wall, and he had a baseball bat and he was smashing my fucking face." What? What? Okay. He was smashing my fucking face. Okay, I guess. And then she goes on to say, "Because I was trying to get him to pick up some pants." What? Whatever. Shut up. God. And then this other girl says, "It was during like a rave with something like a struggle, and I had an elbow and I flew back 17 hours to Thailand." Or that she had to go do something in like an actress, because she was an actress or something. "I flew back 17 hours to Thailand or Bangkok or whatever." She doesn't even remember where she flew to. Or wherever I was going, and I went to the doctor. She should have proof of that. She went to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and when I got there, I had like a fracture in my nose. And then they start talking about the scarification. She's like, "I had fat carved off my thigh." And then they start talking about all their scarifications. We talked about that again. And then Wood tells the whole group, she says, "The mental torment and the emotional abuse began to manifest in my body. He painted portraits of me incrementally over the course of our relationship, and you can see how the abuse is affecting me. It made me feel like the abuse was art to him." Whatever. No, all those photos you just saw when I was doing that paragraph, those are all the photos. Like, she doesn't, I mean, I guess I guess. You want me to tell you that then she later in the video they get one of those paintings and she starts writing all over it, and you can tell the way she's looking at it. Bro, this woman was on massive amounts of drugs. She was an addict. And she even describes it later. You're going to find out. She was a fucking addict, dude. She was a fucking junkie. Okay? Like, you have to hear the way she describes herself. And that's what happens. You got to listen to these people. And then Evan starts saying, I begged him. I really don't want to do this anymore. I'm an addict and I don't know how this happened. And that would last for 2 days and then the drug would be beside my table. Okay. So it's there. That means you got to do it. Oh, you're a fucking junkie. That's why. Then they all start talking about how different people back then, then they see photos of themselves and they were like, oh, I saw these old photos and I didn't even know who I was. Like, I don't even recognize that person. Fuck, dude. Because you were on massive amounts of drugs back then. You were like, the problem that this comes down to is very, very fucking simple. They just fucked a rock star and they had crazy fucking sex. They did a whole lot of drugs, a whole lot of partying, and now all of a sudden it's supposed to be a big deal, I guess. So then she starts talking about, this is the one thing I think we all have in common. He's very calculated about 3 things, okay? I saw him get on people so they couldn't say anything, and those 3 things are naked photos, photos of doing a bunch of drugs, and he's going to get you to say the N-word on camera. Evan Rachel Wood, did you just admit to saying the N-word? I think you did. I think you just admitted to saying the N-word, bro. So I wish we could find those videos. Shit, put her ass out for that. And then she goes on to say, on camera, it starts off as well, like, oh, it's ironic and it's commentary on the Nazis, like this is anti-Nazi. And then she says, cause we love Jews. And I'm just being shocked using the N-word. Oh, you don't get the joke. And then it just keeps happening. And I'm involved and I'm not into that. So I'm going to get mad at you if you don't laugh at the joke. So you're trying to say that the guy controls the party, right? The rock star that is probably paying for everything, he controls the party. Like, if Marilyn Manson says the N-word, that's his business. I don't care. Cancel him for that. That's not my fucking thing. That's not why we're here. Okay? If he does crazy shit on camera, that's his thing. Cancel him for that. Okay? Whatever. We're not here for that. Like, I don't fucking care. I don't care about the N-word. I don't care about you. You want to know what? We should find those videos of her saying it because she just admitted to saying it. So, like, all of that shit, I don't fucking care. Let the guy do whatever he wants. He wants to be a crazy fucking psycho freak, then let him. But you're not going to lie. You're not going to sit here and make up some giant conspiracy, lady. You're not, and we're not going to let you. So then she goes on, we had to participate in that and show him that I was loyal, that he kept me from coming out for a really long time because I was feeling like she says, I was feeling like I was a really horrible person and I was disgusting and there was something wrong with me and I was crazy. Really? Because you were doing all kinds of drugs? Dude, I've been an addict before. In my early 20s, I was a mad, like we used to party hard, like not crack or heroin or anything, but we would party hard, okay? And I'm talking about doing drugs during the day. And you know that when you're doing drugs and the sun is up, you're a fucking addict, okay? You're addicted because you stayed up all night. And I can remember it, how I hated myself. I hated my life. I didn't want to do anything, but at the same time, I couldn't get away from the drugs. I remember that. So you're not going to sit here and tell me this. You're not going to sit here and tell me this, lady. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're a fucking liar. And then she says, I remember the time when Twig got back into the band and we moved to Glencoe, the house on the hill. And Glencoe is where all the torture happened. I got isolated in the house for months and I couldn't leave. He started to yell at me all the time and he really started breaking me down with military tactics. What? Sleep deprivation, freezing cold temperatures, keeping me isolated. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Fine, whatever, fine. Bleh. So listen to this bullshit she says right here. Oh my God. This is kind of long, so we're just going to go through the whole thing. She literally says, once you've been awake for days, you're so weak and cognitively impaired, disoriented, and desperate that you're willing to do anything. You're more susceptible to abuse and brainwashing. She just admitted that she did everything consensually. Once you've been awake for days, you're so weak and cognitively impaired, disoriented, and desperate that you're willing to do anything. You're more susceptible to abuse and brainwashing. You just admitted to doing everything consensually. Oh, I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe someone would hear that and not actually know what the fuck she's talking about. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. So then she goes on to say, I was in the state he had me right where he wanted me. What the fuck? This is also when I suspect he started putting meth into the drugs because I remember there was a moment where things turned. And I'm like, these drugs are a lot stronger than they had been. And my nose is bleeding all the time. Really? Your nose is bleeding all the time. Really? Okay. So you're snorting up some crazy shit. Fucking junkie. My nose is bleeding all the time. My nose is bleeding all the time. I started getting scabs all over my body, and it's all over my face, and I was digging into my skin. I didn't know what meth was. I didn't know what meth was. I didn't know. I started getting really sick, and I was throwing up every day. I couldn't get out of bed, and he wasn't doing anything. He just didn't care. Like, he just wanted me to be there. And this is also him when he started This is also the time when he started raping me in my sleep. What? How? What? You're just gonna segue? You're just gonna segue from talking about how you're a complete fucking junkie, and then segue right into, oh, he started raping me in my sleep. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god! And I'm literally there, and I'm laughing while I'm typing, and I'm literally watching. Oh my god, this is fucking embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. I can't even believe she's fine with this being on HBO. On HBO. Oh my god. See, but this is the thing. All of this, it's all hidden with all this HBO produced bullshit. That's the thing. So that's why there's so much about family and her dad and her kid and, oh, feel sorry for me. Bro, you're a fucking junkie, dude. You're a fucking straight up junkie. And that's probably why he didn't do anything, because he knew that she was a junkie. He knew. Like, these people that they have money and they do drugs like that, like, when you've been around those type of people, you know, man, you know, you're like, oh, I don't fucking care. She's just gonna keep on doing it. That's how she is. Like, this isn't a fucking joke, man. You're out here outing yourself, Evan Rachel Wood. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Throwing up every day, just didn't care, blah, 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 go to sleep. Okay, and then oh my god. And then she says, also him, this is when he started raping me in sleep. I never knew what pills were. He would give me a pill to go to sleep. And I just remember doing the mental math quickly and waking up thinking that I'm just going to stay asleep. Because he was supposedly raping her. Like, what? Okay, fine. Oh, and then she said, oh, I did the mental math. And then I would just lie there limp and still. And when it was over, and she goes, I swear to God, he would just fling my leg and then he would walk out of the room. Fine. Okay, whatever. And she says, I just felt like I was nothing, like I was an object. I started to realize if I stayed there, I was going to die. Oh, really? If you stayed there doing a massive amount of drugs with your fucking nose bleeding and itching and scabbing and on your face, bro, you're a fucking junkie, dude. You're a fucking piece of shit junkie, bro. And that's probably why he didn't want to do anything, because that's what she turned into. She went from this gorgeous woman that he met and that she was a gorgeous actress. And then after all of the partying, she turned into a piece of shit junkie. Like, see, and here's the thing. What, do you think that other people aren't partying too? Are you like, she's trying to literally make it sound as if him and her are the only two people in the goddamn house. You expect me to believe that? You expect me to believe this guy's house in Los Angeles and it's only y'all two? Oh, he had me isolated. Meh. Shut the fuck up. Wood says, your reality becomes the abuser's reality. I went on autopilot. And this other girl says, so like if you do it enough times, you know how he wants you to cry and he wants you to scream? She says, whatever, beg and plead in your prison as well. And then the other girl, like they're just talking on top of each other. And he says, this other girl says, he would leave and go to these parties and these girls and stuff, and I would be locked in his room. Let's just humor. We're going to humor her. We're going to throw her a bone. Let's just say that that's true. Okay, so you're trying to tell me you stayed in someone's house while they went away and you were locked in there. You were locked in there. And you never decided what? Break a window, get out, break a door down, something? What, did he have you in like a windowless, well, they tried to call it a meat locker, a fridge. What was his house? His house had no windows or something. Like, this doesn't make any sense, man. Unless you're talking about a person that's actually kidnapping people and putting them with like a lock and key and shit and fucking, and literally like Saw, kind of, without the games. Unless that, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't believe anything these women are saying, dude. I don't believe a goddamn word they're saying. So then the brother talks about how apparently this is supposed to be the deal breaker from Evan Rachel Wood. This is after all of that, this is finally what made her want to leave. The brother talks about how she fell, that they were walking down the stairs outside of the house, the LA house. She fell and she hit the back of her head and that her head was bleeding, and he didn't do anything. And then he just passed by her and he went to Home Depot. Okay. And like, we're not here to discuss if Marilyn Manson's a fucking asshole. We've already established that. Look, man, Marilyn Manson is a crazy asshole freak that likes freaky hardcore sex. And he likes a lot of drugs. What the fuck is the problem? He never abused you. It doesn't sound like at all like he abused you. It sounds like you don't like the fact that you chose to do everything you chose to do, Evan Rachel Wood. That's what it sounds like. And that's what it's going to be. That's all it's going to be. But just like Amber Heard, just like Amber Heard, that she said some stupid shit today, okay, this is probably not going to end either. And we're only at the beginning. We are barely at the beginning. So then they talk about North Carolina, 2009. That her dad went to stay with her and they were having like a family time. Like, this is the kind of shit I don't fucking care about. I don't care. What does this have to do with Manson? It has nothing to do with anything. Like, who the fuck cares? So then her mom starts talking about Manson calling 158 times and that he would call and she would answer. And whenever she answered, he would say, oh, well, I'm cutting myself for every time she doesn't answer. Okay, that's hardcore. Fine. So then, why did it work? Because next, she goes back. She went back, dude. She went back. She literally says, you had to always show him that you were loyal and you cared. Otherwise, he was going to come after you. What? Come at? Fine. He was going to come after you. And so after that, I came back to LA to defuse the situation. And I put on Neosporin on every single one of the cuts. So she is terrified and scared of this man. And she's literally helping him with his wounds. So stupid. She said, he lured me back. It was in that around time that he tied me up and he tortured me when I was trying to leave. I guess. Then she starts telling the group of people, we had broken up and he was calling. And I went over there to try to defuse it. And, It was just when it was going to happen. I went over to the house and he tied me up. He hit me over and over and over again with a whip, which has a Nazi emblem on from the Holocaust with a swastika on it. What? Fine, whatever. Over and over again. Da, 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 da. And then she said that he shocked me with a violet wand. I guess it's like one of those long things that you've seen before. And on the welts, and he shocked my downstairs. And then she starts like fake crying. And I remember that in that moment thinking, just tell him whatever he wants to hear. And I said, I'm so sorry. I was begging for forgiveness. And he was cradling me and saying, you understand now. And then he cut open his hand right here like this, and he made me drink his blood. And then he cut me like right here, and he drank mine. You just described how you went back and you had a fucking ritual to show how you loved him. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my God. So luckily we're almost at the end. She started talking about not being in her mind. That was when he would hit her. There was something about or I don't know what the word was. I don't have it here. Something about being out of body experience, but still being there. Whatever. And then they show a clip of the paparazzi. Okay. And the paparazzi asks her, "Oh, are you and Manson back together?" And she says, "Maybe." So then the mom says she doesn't want to tell Evan anything because it would make her mad. Oh, okay. So nobody could tell you anything because you'd get mad about it. Damn, that sounds like Marilyn Manson's really doing a number on you, huh? Or does it sound like you're doing a number? God, what a fucking liar. And then the brother comes to say, yeah, Evan had really distanced herself from my mom, and she had really distanced herself from my dad, and I was the only one that had eyes on her and a handle on her, so if she cuts me off, I can't really see her, and she's going to be all alone. What? I thought y'all said that Manson cut everyone off from her, so she cut herself off. You see, that's why you listen to these people when they talk. So essentially the whole thing is supposed to be, oh, Marilyn Manson cut me off from my family and friends. And then her brother literally fucks her in the ass. Well, not literally. And then her brother literally like drops her and he says, oh, well, Evan really distanced herself from my mom and she really distanced herself from my dad. Oh, so you're lying again. Okay. And then she says, I tried to leave multiple times after that, and I was back. And when he starts love bombing me with letters, and then they show the letters of what it says. Let me see. Is it here? Yeah. And then these are the letters that it says. I will never, ever let you go again. Another letter says, I know that we needed this break, and we needed this break to fix us. With you, everything feels like the first time, and I have a new first time. And I am hopelessly and unbreakably yours. That's love bombing? Dude, it just sounds like they got back together. What the fuck? See, and they did it again. They told us what love bombing was. She said, he started love bombing me again. Dude, we'll decide that. Stop telling us what to think. Stop telling us. Stop, because you're full of shit and we can tell. It's absolutely easy to tell. And then she says, okay, we're almost done. She says, from the beginning of our relationship, he had an issue with birth control. He wanted me to try every time to see which one he liked. He didn't like any of them, essentially. He didn't want me using birth control. He refused to wear a condom ever. And it was very much sex on demand. And it was going to cause more problems if I said no. Whatever. You don't have time to use birth control when someone is just penetrating you while you sleep. Or if they've given you a pill that made you black out. I was still trying to prevent a pregnancy. I was trying to use spermicides and all these things didn't work. He flew out, so they had an abortion. He flew out for the abortion. I was so scared and sad. I obviously believe in a woman's right to choose, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't devastating. The second it was over, he was like, make me dinner. And I remember being like, I'm supposed to be resting. My body's gone through this trauma. There's aftermath down here. He didn't care. And that's when I started getting really suicidal. I was worried. I was worried that I was going to kill myself. And I remembered him calling my dad because I was on. Oh, I remembered calling my dad, not him. I remembered calling my dad because I was on the East Coast and he was on the East Coast. I was really scared. I was really scared to be alone. I knew I couldn't be alone. Then she talks about how her dad screwed her over or some bullshit. The mom says, I don't know how long it's been since we had seen her at this time. I had terrible dreams. And then she says, my second marriage broke up. It was a lot of fallout and it was because of him. What? What? What the fuck does Marilyn Manson have to do with your second marriage? You dumbass. What? Whatever. So then they go back to Gore and her and Gore, and she says, "What was the moment you needed to realize you didn't go? You realized you needed to go to a mental health facility." Wood says, "When my suicide didn't work, I was on antidepressants after I left Manson, but he ended up calling me a lot, and I was getting them on the tour bus." What? You said after I left Manson, but you were on the tour bus? What the fuck? Okay, whatever. And I was doing a lot of drugs, and I got to Sacramento. I got off the bus, and it was like it just hit me the second I stepped off the bus, and like this wave. I just said, I'm gonna die tonight. Like, this is it. I can't go any further. I just went to the bathroom. Listen to this bullshit. I just went to the bathroom. I took a bottle and I slammed it, and and it broke. And she says, I started digging into my wrists. Okay. Fine. I believe you, I guess. Fine. And then look what she does next. So then I went to go meet my mom, and she drove from Los Angeles and I drove from Sacramento, and we met in the middle. So you're telling me you tried to commit suicide by digging a fucking bottle into your fucking wrist, and you were still able to drive all the way from Sacramento halfway to LA? Really? Okay, fine. And she starts talking about needing to go into a medical facility. She tells the mom that she couldn't sleep. She starts bitching more about her dad. She starts bitching about her parents. They're fucking all useless. She said, I'm getting out. She said, I figured out his tricks. I figured out his gaslighting. I figured out how manipulation, and I figured out how to use it against him. I stopped laughing at his jokes. So you were laughing at his jokes the whole time. Oh, so you were into it. Dumbass. And he would threaten to kill me, and I would say, okay. Then I just looked at him, and it wasn't fun for him anymore. Oh, so you were playing along the whole time. Okay. And then she says, talking about, she went on something, Ides of March, and they show her kissing Gosselin. She starts talking about her ex-boyfriend that she's seen with Manson. Then she starts talking about the relationship that they had. But then the PTSD started to kick in. No, it didn't. Your fucking your ex-boyfriend had a problem with you leaving him to go fucking be with Marilyn Manson. Why don't you just admit it? We can all tell right off the bat. The poor guy, a great dude, great actress. Poor guy. That's all that happened, bro. She left a really great guy to go have some crazy, insane sex with Marilyn Manson, and then she came back to the poor dude. Poor guy. What a bitch. So then they go to November 11th. She talks about how they went to law enforcement. She talks about how she went to the FBI. She talks about how she drives away and then she went to go away to go hide somewhere, but then her kid's not even with her. Okay, so then apparently she had to go pick her child up from her ex, and apparently this woman lost custody of her child because the husband proved that she was crazy as fuck or something like that. There's even court documents saying that. And then she tells her brother, she feels bad that I have to uproot his life to come and stay because, I don't like doing that. And he's like, okay, it's okay. I like it. Oh, so you have a history. You have a history of doing this shit. So you've done this before where you make people take care of you again. Dude, I'm telling you. So then they talk about more sex trafficking. Gore says that they were sex trafficked. He wanted to have sex on something because he knew the higher ups in Hollywood, and it's just giving off on the whole idea. Of course, he says, "I love public people, not caring if it's disgusting." A whole bunch of bullshit. They don't even go into anything. They start talking about the FBI. Then she goes in to see the FBI, and the FBI doesn't fucking care. They don't fucking care about what she has to say. They tell her to leave, and they basically tell her, "Okay, we'll call you." That's basically what they told her. "Okay, we'll call you." And then she says, "We're almost done." And then she says, "This arrest can't come soon enough. My friends and family have been going through this with me, sorry, just for so long." And she starts crying again. "And I don't want to have to call anybody to come stay with me anymore. I don't want people to have to hold my hand till I fall asleep. I want my family and friends. I don't want to put them through this anymore." Okay, man, whatever. And then she shows her public statement from 2021, talking about how Warner is the abuser. And then she goes on to say that she did it on purpose. She put it out like that because if there's no public outrage, then there's no incentive for law enforcement to do anything. Oh, you mean like as in because there's no evidence? So why the fuck would law enforcement? You're trying to tell me that law enforcement will only do anything if people would ever say anything on Twitter? Is that it? Is that what you're trying to tell me now? That's total bullshit. That is absolute bullshit, man. I can't even believe we're listening to this person. Ugh. So then that's basically it. That's basically it, dude. It ended right there. That's literally it. They were just talking about how she released a statement publicly, and then an hour beforehand that she's having an out-of-body experience. And then the Gore woman comes in and she like hugs her. They start crying. She starts wailing and she's like she starts wailing, dude. And then finally it's over. And that's it. That's it. That was it. I was like, oh, that's it? That's all you're going to show us? Are you sure? Are you fucking serious? Are you sure? Like, so then they come out with these the messages from Manson's people, and it says, "Mr. Warner vehemently denies any and all claims of sexual assault or abuse by anyone. These claims against my client have three things in common. They are all false. They were taking place more than 10 years ago, and they're part of an attack coordinated by former partners and associates of Mr. Warner who have weaponized the otherwise mundane details of his personal life and their consensual relationships to fabricate horror stories." Okay. Because that's what it really is, man. I believe that. I genuinely do believe that. Why? Because we still have no evidence of anything. We don't have any evidence of anything. And then the very last part says, "Authorities have launched an investigation into the claims that Brian Warner, what's the date? No charges have been brought against him. On March 22nd, Warner filed suit against Evan Rachel Wood and Alma Gore for emotional distress and other claims alleging the part of the documents and emails were falsified, which we've already seen, and others were coerced to make false allegations against him." And that's it. 50 fucking minutes, man. I could have cut it up into 2 parts, but I didn't want to. And that's it. That's it. Hey, Evan. Not good. Not good. Not a good showing. Sorry. So we're going to leave it there. That's it. That's all it is, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm leaning even more now to Manson. And then there's people online talking about, "Oh, well, Manson's just another man. He's going to be protected by people." Whatever. Fine. And that's it. I don't know. I don't even know what to do. Like, I can't believe I wasted 2 days of my life on this bullshit. But I'm glad I did, because at the same time, we can now tell, hey, Evan Rachel Wood, you are a fucking liar, dude. You're a junkie. And you know what? Good for her. Good for her. She got sober. That's good, man. Good job. Great job. Grand. So this is going to be the only video for today. I mean, 54 minutes, but because it's really important. This is very important shit. Like, I think that, yeah, I said I wasted 2 days of my life. Excuse me. But at the same time, this is very important, man. This is huge, because when this trial starts, I'm telling you, there's going to be so many people talking about so much shit. And that's just the way it's going to be. So we will leave it right there. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for staying with me for 55 minutes already. Man, this was good. I liked it. We're able to call these fucking bitches out. Sorry. Amber Heard and Evan Rachel Wood, they're bitches. Sorry, ladies. Oh, I did want to end off on this last comment. I want to tell all the people out there that get mad about the way I talk. I've already stopped using the word. Okay, I'm not gonna go any more than that. I'm sorry. You're not gonna control what I say. You're not gonna control the words I use. Okay, YouTube does that. Okay, so if you have a problem with how I talk, then go fucking watch someone else. Sorry. I don't care about anything. I don't care about any of your personal shit, because there's so many other people here in this community that we're building, and they care. Okay, they care. I don't care about your ears and how you can't read words because I say the word lesbos. Oh, he said lesbos. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. Send me all the emails you want complaining about the way I speak. Send them. I don't fucking care. I'll say lesbos. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. You're not going to control my speech. YouTube does it already. So you can kiss my fucking ass to all those people that get mad about how I talk. Because those people, you want to know what? If that's the way you feel, why are you even watching? So we're going to leave it there. Thank you for liking and subscribing. This was a long video. I thank you for staying here. If I'm forgetting anything, no, that's about it. So yeah, thank you for liking and subscribing. We will catch you next time.